guys! Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video, my first ever Q&A video actually, and it's in celebration of me reaching 1,000 subscribers. I'm so happy and grateful to every single one of you who have subscribed and who have been with me since the very beginning. You know what, this is still the very beginning. This is still a young channel and it's still growing and changing, and either way I'm just so happy to have you here. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. What is your favorite vegan meat that you've tried? From Zachy. I don't really know. I really enjoy tofu, but that's not really a vegan meat. Oh, I love tofurkey. I love tofurkey bologna, the deli slices. That's really good. And Allie asks, what pieces of advice for balancing work, school, while maintaining time for significant other do you have? What works well for you? Also, if you have any time management or organizational tips, I'm always looking to improve on those things. Balancing work, school, boyfriend can be very difficult, extremely difficult, and throwing friends in there. And if you have children, having kids to worry about, it's really hard, but everybody will always make it through. Like, even if you feel like you're not going to, you feel like you're going to drop dead because you're so exhausted, because you're so frustrated, you are going to make it through, because as Winnie the Pooh says, you are stronger than you think. So just know that whatever situation you're in right now, it's only temporary. Even if you're working 60 hours a week and you've got a family at home and you're struggling to pay the bills, just know that this is not permanent. It's not a permanent life situation, and you will get through it and move past it. And that's a guarantee. It will only get better. Managing your time, you just do what you have to do. Always try to get enough sleep, but if you can't get enough sleep, then have a big breakfast in the morning. Carb up, have a bunch of bananas, have a big bowl of oatmeal with some bananas, some fruit. Just have a good breakfast, a nice refreshing lemon water to start your day, and you will have a better day even if you've gotten no sleep, and you'll get through the work day. And just try really hard. Every day that you fail, try harder the next day, and eventually you will catch up with your schedule. My best piece of advice for organizing is to get rid of everything. That's the best piece of advice I could give you. We as Americans, if we're lucky, and sometimes even if we're less fortunate, we have so much crap that we don't need. We have houses and houses, rooms and rooms full of crap. We have storage lockers rented out for the stuff that we can't fit into our houses. It's insanity. So really go through your things. Think about whether or not you need them. Go through every item in your closet and say, does this bring me joy? And if it doesn't bring you joy, then get rid of it. You know, even if it brings back a memory, chances are you don't need it. You're never going to use it again. See if you can sell them, make some money, and then you'll have less stuff to organize, which means that you'll be more organized. Ding! So then Ariane Fruitarian, she has a channel here on YouTube as well. I will try to remember to link her below. She asks, what is your favorite movie? I don't know. Harry Potter. Something Harry Potter. It has to be. I mean, even if there are other movies that I like more, and there are other movies that I probably like more, I just have to say Harry Potter, just as a generic answer. Corinne asks, I have a couple. What are your tips for managing a good relationship? Also, what is your skincare routine? I just mentioned this in my video, my Barnes & Noble haul about fixing my life. I think it's so important to continue getting to know somebody, no matter how long you've been together. I think it's so important to always go on dates and always ask each other questions. And if you ever feel yourself like slipping away in some way, not listening to them very well anymore, and or like just not really caring so much about what they're doing or what they have to say, vocalize that and tell them, hey, listen, like, I'm like this with everybody in my life, but especially with Zach. I don't hold back anything. I always tell everybody exactly what's on my mind. So yeah, I just suggest being more like that, because then there's no way that a problem can ever really arise, because you're just constantly like in the loop with them. You're never holding anything back or not telling them how you feel. Just always having that that line of communication there is very, very important. But you are also hearing this from a girl who who canceled her wedding 2 weeks before to a guy a couple years ago. So I don't know if I'm the best person to ask. And also, what is your skincare routine? She asks. You don't want to know. I'm still working on it. I've got really bad skin right now. It is healing a lot, thank God. But I'm still working on it. But once I have a good skincare routine, I will let you know what my skincare routine is. Bianca Allen says, "Yay, I love your videos." Thank you for watching them. So my question is, what Netflix shows can you binge watch any time of any day? The Walking Dead, first and foremost, is one that I can watch anytime, any day. And then I also like shows like Gilmore Girls and what else? What other shows are on Netflix? Degrassi, the new Degrassi. I think that's really, really good. And then, of course, kids shows too, like Magic School Bus and Sophia the First. I get into that, like into that. So I don't know if that makes me creepy, but yeah. And then my favorite TV show outside of Netflix, it's not on Netflix, but it is Monk, starring Tony Shalhoub. It's a very dry comedy, but it's so heartfelt, and it's a really good show. So if you can find a way to watch that, I would highly recommend Monk. Johnny Peguero? I don't know how to, I'm sorry. I've got a really frustrating last name as well. I don't know how to pronounce anybody's, but I'm sorry if I butchered that. Johnny Peguero says, "I subscribed yesterday and instantly fell in love with your videos. Yay! Keep up the good work. I will try." My question is, how do you stay so positive? I know that many YouTubers only show the good, but what motivates you to be happy? Well, I'm not always positive. I have one video where I'm extremely pissed off, and then I have another video up where I'm crying my eyes out talking about depression and anxiety. And I'm as open and honest as I possibly can be on this channel. So, I mean, I am positive generally because I don't want to just post videos about me crying all the time, but I go through a full range of emotion with my emotions. But how I stay positive generally, I'm still working on. I've got a lot to work on in my life, but I try to remember that life is not infinite. It is very short. It's just a little blip in time. So if there's ever something that's really frustrating me, like something small, like a little argument with a friend or somebody thumbs down my video, I just remember that my life is so insignificant to the grand scheme of things that it's something like that, some little problem like that is just not worth any of my energy in the short time that I have in this world. So also focusing on my goals, whether it's moving out, building a small house, getting married, going on a vacation, big goals like that, keeping them in my head for the long term. Sometimes they can stress me out, but for the most part, when I'm feeling really upset for whatever reason, I just think about those goals and I visualize them, and then I try to put action toward that goal instead of putting energy toward my sadness. Stephanie, oh, another last name, Stephanie Rubikson said, "Hey, awesome girl. So happy that you reached this milestone. Me too. My question is, what is one of your biggest fears and why?" Death. My biggest fear is dying because I don't know what happens next. I don't have any firm beliefs in that area. I'm not a religious person, although I wish I was, because then I think I would feel a lot more comfortable with the idea of dying, since it wouldn't be like everything just stops. It would be, I would move on to something else, whether it's heaven or hell or whatever. I'm scared of dying because, yeah, it's scary. But thankfully, since I'm vegan now, I feel a big sense of comfortability in that area because I'm not as worried that I'm going to get cancer or any of those other things, even though vegans get cancer too. I'm just saying, like, I feel more comfortable. So she also asks, what is your favorite horror movie? Lots of love your way, sweetheart. Mwah, love back, right back to you, Stephanie. My favorite horror movie, I have so many. I am a junkie. If you guys haven't seen my first ever YouTube video, my big DVD haul, embarrassing, but if you haven't seen that, I have so many movies, like so many movies, but, yeah, I can't even choose. I am such a movie lover. Let me check. Okay, so I just looked very briefly through my collection, and here were some that I found that, although they're not really my favorites, they definitely are some of my favorites, and they deserve honorable mentions. It's broken in there. Children of the Corn, so good. Like, probably the first truly horrific movie I've ever seen. So good. I love this movie. The Children, this is an underground horror movie, which means that it's an indie movie, no big stars in it or anything. It's not one of my favorite horror movies, but it's definitely worth a watch. The Butterfly Effect and Final Destination are not necessarily horror movies. I would classify them more as thrillers, but both of these have been my favorite movie at one time. So I thought that I would include them because they're a little bit freaky. Psycho is a really good classic. I only watch it when it rains, just to add effect. Mortuary, which I know you've never heard of, really freaking good. It's got psychological elements and also like jump scares, and it has everything. Sinister is really good. I loved Sinister when I saw it in the theaters, but I do not own it. Another good one was Unfriended. A lot of people gave that movie so much crap, but I thought Unfriended was incredibly unique. I really dug it. But then my final movie that I have is It. It and I go way back. This is the movie that I was watching back when everybody else my age was watching Cinderella and Pocahontas. This is what I was watching. And that's why I'm so messed up. I think that's going to be it for the questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. I was trying to screenshot all of them so that I would not forget. But if I missed it or I didn't give you time to ask a question, please always feel free to leave comments asking me things in the comment section of my videos, and I will make sure to answer it in another Q&A. I want to thank you guys again so much from the bottom of my heart for subscribing. Believe it or not, this channel means a lot to me, and I'm just so excited to grow it and to learn and everything with you. So share my channel with your friends if you think that they would also dig me, and also like this video if you liked it, if you want another Q&A. And if I answered your question, like this video, subscribe! Oh, girl. Always make sure to subscribe for new videos all the time. Now go out there, live like you give a fig, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!